Okay. So I know we've gone over a lot of information from when you first came in up until this point. Now, I
Yep.
just want to gauge how you're feeling so far, how you're feeling now compared to when you first came in.
Um, okay. Like
Mhm.
I was really anxious coming in today because obviously I haven't been to a counsellor since when my mother died.
Yep.
Um, so I feel okay since coming in, but I guess you'd also say that I am really nervous
Okay.
about um like wanting to try and limit my gambling or cut down my gambling, because obviously like I could fail at that or I could get worse at gambling. So yeah, I'm quite nervous
Okay. Well,
to try and start
mhm.
the process, or like try basically.
No, I completely get that. Look, you're doing really well. It can be a very daunting thing coming and seeing a counselor in the first place, going and talking to somebody that you don't know. It can be very scary. And you've done a really good job, and you should be proud of the amount of courage that you've shown just to be able to come in here and do this. It's a really good thing. Now, I need to emphasize the importance of coming back into these sessions and making a commitment to the program. You know, my job is to be here to work with you so that we can get to your ultimate goal. Now, if you don't come back to the sessions, then I can't help you get there. But if you keep coming back, then we won't stop until we get to your goal. I'm on your team. So as long as you keep
Mm.
coming in and we keep working as a team, then we'll get there, and it's okay to be nervous. It's completely okay to be nervous. I would be more worried if you weren't nervous, if you thought that it was going to be a breeze. So
Yeah.
it's all good. You're doing very well. Now,
Thanks.
I feel like a good place to probably start off with, just so you can just focus on one thing at a time, which will probably make things a bit easier nerves wise,
Yeah.
is so I want you to think about some different ways that different things that you could do instead of gambling. So your husband's nagging you, you go,
Mhm.
right, I'm going to go down to the pub. So instead of going down to the pub and going and doing your gambling, what else could you do that you'll get the same amount of satisfaction? It makes you just as happy, but it's something different that you can do instead of going and gambling.
Um, so something I like to do.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, well, I like gardening.
Okay.
I used to have a herb garden with a few veggies. Yeah, out the back. So I just used to grow like rosemary and some basil. And we had some chives.
Homegrown veggies.
Yeah, so good. So much better for you too.
Yeah, that's right.
Um, I had some carrots and, just like easy things to grow, some zucchinis and capsicums.
Yep.
So I could probably maybe start up gardening again because the gardens are a little bit, how you going.
Okay.
Because I haven't spent hardly any time in the last, I don't know, year or so out there.
Okay. So
Um,
doing the gardening is something that could be a good distraction.
yeah, yeah, because I mean, like I can go out and plant seeds and then you have to water them and like look after them so that they grow and so that they produce their herb or their
Yep.
veggie. And you got to like fertilize and stuff like that, and it's quite relaxing being out in a nice well looked after garden as
Yeah.
well.
It can give you something to be proud of at the end of the day.
Yeah, and get some fresh air.
That's right. Yep. That sounds like a great idea. Is there anything else that you can think of? Any other interests that you have that you could do instead of?
Um, well, I used to read a lot of books as well. I
Mhm.
like reading.
Yep.
Mostly like thrillers and crime
Okay.
books. They're my favorite.
Yep.
I don't know if you can see, but I have quite a collection of books up there.
Oh wow.
So
That's
I
a great.
do enjoy reading.
Okay.
So maybe I could um get back into reading my books,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's a good distraction for me, because like when I start reading, I'll go out onto the veranda, and I've got a hammock out there, so I used to just like lay on my hammock and could just read for like, I don't know, a couple of hours at a time if the book's really interesting.
That's so good. Just go out and get lost in a book. Let the story
Yeah,
take
so
you.
maybe, pardon?
Let the story take you away.
Yeah, so maybe I could do that again, because that would like take up not all of the time that I usually spend at the pub, but like a fair chunk of that afternoon time, and then like I could come inside at a normal time and then cook dinner, instead of like staying at the pub until like 8, 9 o'clock at night and then coming home for dinner,
Yep.
like maybe stay out there, say like when the sun is there, and then when it goes um like gets dark, then I could say, all right, time to go inside and cook dinner.
Okay, yep. That's a good idea. So it sounds like you've been able to come up with a plan, to a starting off point, to be able to get towards the end goal. How are you feeling
Yeah.
right now? Now that we've gone over come up with some different ways that you can cope. How are you feeling about it now? You said before you were very nervous. Are you feeling a bit better about it?
Yeah, well, like I know now, like if I feel like I want to go to the pub
Mhm.
or feel like I want to go gamble, like I can just be like, no, try and do gardening or try and read a book and distract myself. I guess you'd say in like a more positive way.
Yeah, exactly.
Gambling is, well, negative in my life,
Mhm.
where reading and gardening could be more of a positive thing. Like,
Yep.
what's the word? Like you achieve something from it.
Yes. Yeah. That sounds great. Now, again, if you run into any problems, say you're out, you're doing your gardening, and
Mhm.
you're getting bored, and you're having feelings like you want to go down to the pub. Now, I just want to say again, you've got my phone number, you've got my email. If you need to reach me, you can, anytime that you need to reach me. And, you know, it may take me an hour or two to get back to you, but I will get back to you. Um,
Mhm.
you know, the biggest thing is being able to give you the support that you need. Um,
Yeah.
and like I said before, here's that information that I was going to give you. The printouts that has the the names of the services, their addresses, their phone numbers, and their emails. So
Yeah.
even if you decide that you don't want to pursue them, I feel like they're good just to hang on to, just in case.
Yeah.
Especially um, once we finish our sessions. Once we've gotten to the end and have finished our sessions, you might decide that it's something that you maybe want to have a look into. At least you've got the information there.
Yeah. Or like if you go on a holiday or something.
That's right. That's right. Now I want to talk about um, more sessions. I feel like it would really help you to have more sessions. I feel like,
Mhm.
this is not something that we're going to be able to combat overnight, but I feel like we're going to get there. You've got the
Okay.
motivation to do it, which is great, and I think that we can really get there. Before we go on to figuring out a schedule of more sessions, do you have any questions? Do you have any more concerns that you want to talk about?
I don't think so. Just maybe like, is there anything that I can do in between now and our next session, like if I get stuck or anything like that? Like, I know you've given me the list of all the other places or numbers I can call, but like, is there any activities like if I didn't feel like gardening one day,
Yep.
or I couldn't focus on a book,
Yep.
is there any other like suggestions or any other places that
Well, ultimately,
I can go?
it comes down to your interests. You know yourself better than anybody else. So it comes down to what you like doing. If you decide that instead of gardening today, I'm going to go and have a walk, and
Right.
if that's what you feel like doing, then that's what you do. You don't have to do the same thing every day. But I think it's important to make sure that you have a routine of doing something other than, like, don't just sit at home. I feel like you will benefit more from doing something, because it'll keep you distracted, which is what you were wanting to do, so that you don't fall back into the same pattern. So yeah, I think we've got a good plan in place, and I think we should definitely schedule you in for some more sessions. Now, what I was thinking is we'll just start off with 5 sessions, and we'll spread them out fortnightly. That way, it gives you a week basically to be able to get into that routine, and then you can come to me and I can see how you've progressed, and if you've had any problems with it, any things that we need to change along the way, then we can do that as we're going. There's no point in me saying come back in tomorrow, because that's not enough time to change anything. So how do you feel about that?
Yeah, well, that's that'll be easy enough for me to do. And because you do like the online sessions as well, so if I can't make it into the building or whatever, we can do the same as today, like the video, the chat, so that makes it easy. And 2 weeks, that'll give me like some practice, so I can practice instead of not going down to the pub or to the TAB. I can practice doing the gardening or reading or going for a walk, or like finding something different to do.
Right. I think that's a really good plan. Okay, well, what I will do is I'll get you to go and talk to one of the girls at the front desk, and you can figure out which days suit you better. We can do whatever day you like. Whatever I've got available is not a problem. And I will see you when you come in next time.
All right, no worries. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
You too. See ya.
Bye.